that I'll be working on. So today we're going to be working on showing you what I do to make these cool skulls. Now, as an omni crafter, aka a woman who dabbles in a lot of bit of everything, my new obsession is 3D printing, so you can hear that right there. This is my Bamboo A1 with the AMS light, and she is busy printing up some dot painting tool. You can see I have a poop bucket for her, and it's a rather large poop bucket, and that is the printer poop down there. I just cleaned out that bucket. Alright, so I do the skulls in a couple of different ways, literally 2 different ways. One way is with a half and half. So the top is just your regular deep pour 2-part epoxy, and the bottom is a polyurethane fast curing white resin. So my preference actually is to do the solid skulls here, and you can just see I do have some bubbles in there, but I got a new bubble machine, and we'll be showing you that later on in the video. Okay, so now let's get our resin and our PPE, and we'll get started on this thing. I'll be right back. We've mixed up both of our cups, and you can see it has bubbles. Lots and lots and lots and lots of bubbles. So we are going to use our bubble extractor to take those out so that we can hopefully avoid having too many bubbles in our finished product. Alright, so this is the Resiners air thingamabobby. It's a vacuum, a bubble vacuum for resin. And what I've done is I've taken my 2 cups, added a 3rd cup in because they say don't overfill it, because as the bubbles rise to the surface, they can potentially overflow. So there's those bubbles. And what I've done is I've just placed some parchment paper down below just in case it does happen to overflow, and because, you know, there's resin kind of on the bottom perhaps maybe, and I just like to keep it a little bit cleaner. Normally I would have the parchment paper all the way up covering like the whole cup, but I want you to be able to see the process of the vacuum chamber extracting those bubbles. So give me a second, I'll put the lid on and we'll get started. Okay, so the lid is on and it just fits down right on top. Just make sure that it's nice and snug on there. And then back here at the back of the machine, there's this little plug. This you're going to want to make sure is plugged all the way in, so that when you turn it on, that's what's going to prevent the vacuum from losing its suction and its air. So you want to make sure that that's closed, otherwise you're not going to get that vacuum effect, okay? Alright, we're all plugged in, and you can see we have power. So this power button, whoops, And then you have AI, which basically tells the machine to go to 10 minutes. You can see the minutes up there, or 15 minutes. We're gonna stick to 5, and then you just push that little start button there, and then let's take a look. So you can see in there, you can see all of those bubbles in those 3 cups. And we're gonna give it a minute. We have a 5-minute timer for the vacuum to work. So I'm gonna bring you over here so we can take a look. And I'm gonna speed this up, but remember, this is done in 5 minutes, okay? Let's take this off. Let's take a look. It looks a lot better from what I can tell. Well, we're gonna go ahead and move forward with adding the resin to our skulls. Pardon my trash. And just want to make sure that all of our little bits and bobs are not poking up too much. So I like to just kind of pour gently, because the last thing we want to do is introduce too many more bubbles into our mold after we just spent all this time removing those bubbles. And because I am using a deep pour resin, it is a 2-to-1 resin. I do have a lot more working time, so just be mindful of that. If you're, I don't think you would want to use a quick set epoxy or quick set resin in there, but I don't know. I only use the deep pour. I would just be worried that it would take too long with the 5 minutes, that it might start curing, so just be mindful. You don't want to flash cure before you've had a chance to pour it in there. Okay, so there you have it, guys. I'm going to let this cure, do another round. The next round might fill it up. I might do 2 more rounds, and then I'll come back when it's time to demold. It's going to be a couple of days, so I don't want to keep you waiting. By the time you see this, it'll be done, but it's going to take me a couple of days to get that cured all the way through to the demolding. But we'll be back in just a few, y'all. Alright, we're back, y'all. It's been more than a couple of days. It's been more like a week and a half, give or take. I did like 2 or 3 more fills, and our mold is now all cured. And if it's not by now, it's never going to cure. So I'm going to turn the camera around. We're going to demold it and see what we got. Now this part is always really hard for me, so it's going to take a little bit of patience, and I'm probably going to speed through this. So you'll see it on a fast forward, so you don't have to be stuck watching every second. Alright, so there we go, guys. And look, there are some micro bubbles in the eyes that you can see, and I'm sure that is a result of there are some like open pieces and things like that. So I'm sure that that's what that is from, but like there are no other micro bubbles really, or little bubbles at all in the rest of it that you can see. A couple right here maybe, but yeah, guys. That's what the little poop skulls look like. They're so pretty. I just love them. And I think they're such a pretty way to deal with the leftover filament supports and waste. But there you go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you've watched this far, please hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I'll catch you in the next video. Love you. Bye.